Learned in life is that whatever we put into life has an effect on what comes out of life. You see, some people are just lazy and just don't do much at all in life. Other people get by, and other people try that little bit harder. Try that little bit harder to do what they can do in a situation. Today I'm reading Bhagavad Gita 6.40. And in this verse, the Lord is saying to us, all it is all about endeavour, one's intention. You see, sometimes in life we try to do certain things to get a result. But actually the Lord isn't looking for results. What He's looking at is our attitude to serving, how much we do it from our heart, from our love, or how much we do it because we want something back in return. What do I mean by that? You see, I live here in ISKCON Vrindavan, and we have visitors coming every day of the week, non-stop, and I engage with a lot of people, a lot of visitors. And the one thing that I notice is most people come to the temple because they want something from the Lord. They either need some protection, they need some help, maybe their mother's sick, their brother's got a problem, they've got a financial problem, they've got a home problem, they've got relationship problems, they've got friends problems, all these problems. They haven't got enough Facebook friends, or enough Instagram followers, or whatever it may well be. We're always asking the Lord for more and more and more. But actually, why? Why do we think we should ask? Why is it that we always feel we need to have something in return for something that we do? I'll come and give something for the Lord, but I need something back in return. Srila Prabhupada tells us about this whole concept of doing, I will do a little bit for the Lord, He gives me something back. And what happens in life generally is, for the average person living in the material world, is I'll do 2 bits for me and I'll give a little bit to the Lord. But the Lord is saying, no. How can this mathematics work out? Okay. We've got to try and get beyond this selfish approach that we have to life. Everything seems to be about me. And it's no surprise because we live in a world where we're told to be competitive from a very, very young age. Be successful, be the most successful son, earn the most amount of money, have the best position in life, have a good family, have lots of possessions. So it's competition. I'm going to reveal more about how the Lord helps us to overcome these limitations coming up. So these are the limitations in life, that we think that we need certain things. And if we don't get these certain things, then we're not going to be satisfied with the life that we have. Actually, what I've discovered is the more we desire, the more we need, actually the more it's difficult to sustain it. Because it just gets to a ridiculous situation. It's like, oh, I need to buy this, I need to buy that, I need to have this, I need to have that, therefore I work harder and harder. And then what happens is, I don't have any time for looking after Lord Krishna. I don't have any time to look after my family. I don't have any time to explore, go a bit inwards, go a bit deeper into understanding who we really are. And if we start to discover who we are, then we might realise actually there may be something more to life than just needing me, I. And this is the beauty about the Lord. The Lord says to me, okay, and it's repeated in this verse, just do your best to your capacity. Just to your capacity, and He'll help us the rest of the way. And this is very, 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 very beautiful. But it takes a lot to understand this, because it's not just those simple words, it's something that you have to experience. And what do I mean by that? You see, sometimes we get caught up in the results, the outcome of what we do. Now, I've been that's been very much part of my life when I was living in the material world. I was a hard worker, and everything was about results. How successful can I be? Can I be the best salesperson? Can I get the results that's expected of me? And therefore, we end up doing things for the wrong reason. We do it for the results rather than actually the purpose of what we're meant to be doing it. And that really does affect us in the spiritual world. So, for instance, I'll give you an example. At the moment, I'm producing these videos. and sometimes they're hooked up with how many people are viewing them or not viewing them. But what I'm trying to learn, and the Lord Krishna is trying to explain to me actually, is don't get worried about who's viewing. Don't get caught up in the analytical aspect of it. Don't be an analyst. Have the right intention. So my intention writing this video here now is to give people a good example of how they can understand a particular verse of the Gita, and not only understand this particular verse of the Bhagavad Gita written by Srila Prabhupada from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, but also maybe how they can move forward in their life. Now that should be the only motive that I have, not looking at how many results I get. All my recordings of these videos, it shouldn't be about the results. It shouldn't be about how many viewers have viewed it. You see, by Lord's arrangement, he'll make sure that whoever needs to see this video will be the ones who need to see this video. And my interest should be just in producing in order to be able to bring people that little bit closer to Krishna consciousness. And that should be my only motive. How can I fulfill Srila Prabhupada's mission to bring another devotee towards Lord Krishna? But it still happens, but I'm learning, and each day I have to say it's getting a little bit easier as I realise there is more important reason why we're doing certain things and not for the results. This is about the love. I produce these videos because of the intelligence that the Lord has given me. I produce these videos because He's given me a certain skill set. I produce these videos because He's asked me to do this for Him. Because if I'm not meant to be doing them, it wouldn't be happening. It wouldn't be happening so fluidly. But He's given me this time, in this moment in time, for instance, to produce this video. So these are the reasons why we should be doing certain things, and we need to try and look at our motive in life. So I ask you, why do you do certain things? Are you a person who just is a bit lazy, or just does the average, or works a little bit harder? You see, the more we put in, the more we get back. It's all about karma. Karma is our biggest teacher. I'll give you an example. I used to work in the material world in a business. Now, I noticed there were different types of people with different attitudes to working. There was one person, for instance, who would just arrive at work with a grumpy attitude and just get on with it because they need to earn some money. And then there'd be someone else who comes in with a little bit better attitude, but they're just a 9-to-5 person. They'll do what they have to do and they'll walk out the office. Nothing more. Just deal with what they've got to deal with. And then there's a third option, and the third option is someone who does all the work they need to do and then is always looking to do that little bit more and that little bit more. And there's another one who just never leaves the office, who just wants to work and work and work and work. Now, if you are in the management of this company now, what would be your approach to each of those individual members of staff? Obviously, the person who's just coming in grumpily, who's just doing it for the sake of money, well, you're not really going to put much focus in that person. The person who's just doing their 9-to-5 job, similarly, not much more. But the person who's trying that little bit more, or the one who's always the last one to leave the office, those are the ones the management are going to see. And they're the ones they're going to assist. They're going to want to bring up the scale in the company and give more important positions and responsibilities. And it's the same thing with the Lord. It's the same thing with the Lord. The Lord, He looks at what we do, our approach, our attitude, our service attitude, and He sees when we're serving from our heart. So everyone is going to get treated slightly differently depending on what they put into it. As good as you give, as good as you get. And the ones who make the Lord the centre of their life, who think about Him, who read about Him, who chant His name, who sings His name, who talks about Him, who listens, they're the ones who are going to get that more intimate and personal relationship. And they're the ones who will get the opportunity to get liberation at the end of this life or a future life. It doesn't matter which life it's going to be, but this is what the Lord is trying to say. Our approach, our attitude is the distinguishing factor about what happens in life. And this reflects us in all aspects of our life. Why are we doing certain things? So I ask you, why are you doing certain things? What is your attitude? Whether it's to do with your family life, whether it's to do with your work life, whether it's to do with your leisure, your social life, what you do on your social media. Why are you doing what you're doing? And is it a good quality life? Is it an aspect of your life that's actually enhancing your life? And this is what we're learning through service to the Lord. He provides us with so much. He gives me the intelligence. He gives me the physical ability. He gives me some intellect, some knowledge, some skill sets. And now, all I want to do is just serve Him and serve it and serve it. And not just serve Him because I want some results. I just can't help myself from serving Him. And it all comes from the heart. And it's beautiful. It's no different to you saying to your mother, I love you, and saying it from your heart. And on other occasions saying, I love you, just in words. It's the same thing. So what I ask you to hear is, do you feel that you could possibly surrender yourself a little bit more, become a little more humble, and maybe serve the Lord? Because I can tell you this now, the more I let go, the more I don't hanker for results, the more I just give and become more selfless and more selfless, the more He actually gives. And I'm witnessing that. So if you feel inspired to go down this path, follow, subscribe, and see what else the Lord wishes to share with you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You see, the Maha Mantra is the stepping stone to everything else that's going to transform in your life. That and reading the Bhagavad Gita as it is by Srila Prabhupada. Haribol.